Well, good morning and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids. Now I got the sphagnum moss to plant this large Dracula up, and as I said, I should have picked it up last Saturday, and the grower didn't bring it, but he sent it through the post. Didn't charge me any postage, so that was very nice of him. But you can see there at the top right is the bucket with the sphagnum in. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Firstly, I'd like to tell you something about Draculas. Well, as you probably know, there are many types of Draculas. All sorts of shapes and sizes of the blooms, and all different colours. And people tend to like the ones most that have the monkey faces. You know, they look just like it's just like a human face sometimes, with eyes, nose, a mouth, and sometimes they have eyebrows even. But the one thing that they all possess are these grass-like leaves. And for general purposes they like cooler temperatures. So here in the UK it's about ideal place to grow them, with temperatures from a low of 50 Fahrenheit to highs of 85 Fahrenheit. Now there are different methods you can pot these in, and I'll just run through one or two. I mean, you probably all know them, but I'll just run through them for the people who probably don't. There's lava rock, which I've got about 8 little ones potted up in. You can always use bark with perlite, but if you use bark with perlite, you pack them fairly tightly so they won't start moving around. They won't move around with lava rock because it's heavy. But with sphagnum it's a totally different proposition altogether. It likes to be kept damp, not wet, and it likes the media to be always spongy and not sort of tightly crammed down that I've seen some growers do. And this can only, if you pack them down very tightly, it just cuts off the air to the roots, which is pointless to me having them in a basket. Now, as regards watering these things, they can keep dry for a day, but that's about the maximum you want to keep them dry. The thing to do is to water them just as they're being dried out. Keeping them a bit too wet will cause the usual things like brown leaf tips. They love humidity of about 50 to 70% and lots of air movement. Now, continual high humidity, or very high humidity, at both day and night time, this will cause problems with bacterial and fungal spores, which will also affect the leaves. Now, as you probably all know, that most of our orchids are epiphytes, and I like to plant epiphytes in really open baskets. This is why I plant them in pots and drill holes in the pots, because they all like air to the roots. And it doesn't matter if you're making baskets off them out of wood or plastic or even a string basket. Every one of those is ideal, and sometimes these plants can be mounted, but I wouldn't recommend them this way for us growers. Now, these plants live in the trees of North and South America. The only thing they get is rainwater and a little feed, you know, from the branches and trees. So good quality water is perfect for them. distilled RO and rainwater, but stay away from water with a fairly high salt content, because Draculas are very sensitive to fertiliser. Now I soaked this sphagnum overnight in RO water with a dollop of liquid seaweed mixed in, and the liquid seaweed has a very low TDS, so it can only help the plant to get established, I think. And that's all the fertiliser they're going to get, especially being planted in sphagnum. The ones I have planted in lava rock will get a little more fert because of the nature of the rocks, which tend not to hold water, and in that case you can flush them a lot more often. Well, that's about all I can tell you about these type of plants, so I think we should just get on with the potting and get it potted up. This won't be easy because of what it's been potted in before, and if you notice, I said it's only in a very, very shallow basket, and it's been in that one for years, and everything's gone rotten inside, and I'm left with, let's have a look, roots like that. Plenty of new growth in them, but plenty of bad roots, and I can't clear much more of there, or else I've been nothing to wrap the sphagnum round. In fact, I have nothing there to wrap the sphagnum round, so what I propose to do is fill the container I've made up for them, rest it in, and then just build it round so they can the roots can go into the sphagnum. So we'll just do that. 1, 2, 3. Right, we've got the sphagnum in the bucket. The only thing we need to do now is take some out, give it a good squeeze out till it's just damp, and then put it in the plastic baskets I've made for them. So we'll just squeeze as much water as we can. Gets a little solid there, so we'll open it up as we put it in. So we're not going to pack it tightly. It's going to take a lot of sphagnum, this, because it's quite a deep basket. But having soaked this overnight, it's quite easy to bring it into little pieces. And I haven't put any lava rock in the bottom of here because we want the blooms to go straight through the bottom of the basket. And we're not packing tightly, so that's another reason I don't need to use lava rock. Try and get these better pieces in as we can. And then as I'm getting to the top where the plant is, what I'll do, I'll leave the sphagnum a little bit wetter. This is going to take quite a lot of sphagnum. But we'll keep going like this until it's full up. And while I'm doing this, there's another show coming up Saturday, and I'm going to put, I think, 3 plants into the show just to see how they go on. I haven't shown any for a bit, but so it's about well, it's half hour's run from me to Sheila's, and then it's about 3/4 of an hour from Sheila's to where the show is in Rixton, it's called. So tomorrow I need to prepare the plants, get them all ready, make sure they're worth being judged. So I'll just switch off until I've filled this up a little bit more. Right, we're getting to a point now where there's enough sphagnum in there to put the plant on top. But before I put it in there, I'll just have a nosy around the plant, just have a look at it and have a look at all the growths. Well, here you can see a few roots, but look at all the new growths on it. Absolutely tremendous. So I've got high hopes for this one, and as you can see there's a purple root, and I think that is a spike. I'm not sure, but the other ones I've seen that have purple ones generally do spike. So we'll see what happens to this one. But what I propose to do is just rest it on top like that. Slowly just sink it in, not tight. And then go around the bottom with sphagnum again. Now I can't do this with one hand, so I'll put the camera back on the stand. Well, there we are. We'll get some more, squeeze it out. I think I might need a little bit more moss, I'm not sure. So we'll put this right round without burying the new growths. Don't mind them buried a little bit, but as long as I can see them, that's fine. Turn it round, lift it up, and do the same under there. Not easy, but I think it'll all be worthwhile in the long run. Just breaking little pieces off and shoving it in. A little bit difficult to mount up this plant, so I'm hoping the roots will mount it up itself. There we are, I think we're getting there. Just press it down a touch, but keep it nice and spongy. Put a bit more in, might as well use what we've got here. Well, I hope my head wasn't in the way there, sorry. Well, that's looking pretty good to me. Sorry about my head in the way again. Just put some along here. As long as I don't force it down or anything like that. I mean, when it gets watered every so often, it will get a little bit tighter in the pot. I might as well use up all the stuff in here. Expensive stuff, so we don't throw it away. You see how nice and spongy it is, it's coming back up. That's how I like it. Well, we'll move the water now, or rather the moss. that was in the bucket. And I haven't made a label for it yet, but I'll do that. And what I propose to do now is, it might seem a bit strange, but it'll only happen once a week, is that I'm going to measure the weight of this, because that moss is ideal for it now. So if I weigh it as it is, and then this time next week it's the same weight, so I'll leave it. If it's a lot lighter, I'll just water it back up to the same weight. Well, I've got my little kitchen scales here, and I've set it to the grams and it's 0. So we'll put the plant on now and see what that is. Oops. And that's gone up to 1170, 1171, give or take 1. So I'll measure this next week and we'll see what it is then. And that will show me exactly how much water I have to put back in to make it like it is now. So I think that might work okay. Well, that's about all I have to tell you about the plant. That's all I can tell you. That we've got it nicely planted up. And until next time, which will be, I don't know, either tomorrow or Saturday, something like that, I'll go to the show and take some pictures of the show. So until then, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.